Welcome back to Thalias Cakes. In today's video, we're going to be making a Kawaii Coconut Cake. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this tutorial. If you enjoy fun cake decorating and other fun cake related stuff, you might want to consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss another video. Alright, let's get started. To start off, I baked 2 cakes inside of a 6-inch ball pan. I trimmed both of the tops off like this, although I did trim that a little too much, but whatever. I ended up with 2 bottom layers like this and 2 dome layers like this. I only ended up using 2 of the bottoms and 1 of the dome layers. Now I can start filling and stacking the cake. For the filling, I used Swiss meringue buttercream and mixed in some coconut shreds. If you would like the recipe to the Swiss meringue buttercream, I will be leaving the link down below in the description box. I'm gonna give this a crumb coat and pop it in the refrigerator to chill for 30 minutes, and after that, I can give it its final coat. To smooth out the buttercream here, I'm going to use this piece of plastic that I got from a fruit container, believe it or not, and it works great. You should definitely try it out. After 30 minutes, I rolled out some brown marshmallow fondant that I made myself. If you're interested in getting the recipe for this marshmallow fondant, I will be leaving it down in the description box as well. Once that was set, I cut off the excess fondant with a knife. And then I used this tool here to start giving it that coconut texture. And the lines don't have to be perfect, so don't even worry about it. It's best if you just overlap them, you feel? At this point, you might be thinking, why in the world did she decorate it upside down? There's a reason to my madness, okay? We about to flip this thing over. The reason why I did this like that is so that way it was easier for me to get the fondant all over and I wasn't like struggling to make sure it was perfect if it was facing the other way. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's continue. Before flipping this thing over, I needed to make a little hole at the very top with this cookie cutter so that way I could take off some of the fondant and then replace that with some buttercream. And then I placed on a cake board on top and flipped it over. Carefully, I'm going to take off the cake board. I used the offset spatula to kind of like help me not mess it up. Now I'm going to use this little bowl here to help me cut out a perfect circle in the center, and then I'm going to use a spoon to dig out some of the cake like this. Don't get too crazy while doing this because you only want to dig out about like 1.5 inches deep. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this area with some buttercream. And then place on some white fondant on top so that way it looks like, you know, the white part of the inside of a coconut. And as you can see, I made a hole in the middle of the fondant so that way when I push down, the air has room to escape and it won't create any air bubbles or anything like that. Once that was set, I went around and trimmed off the excess fondant using my X-Acto knife. Guess what time it is? It is time for our subscriber cake tutorial request. Okay, I got like 7 here left. Gotta get through these. Baby Boy Candyland themed cake by Floresa. Anyways, congratulations, girl. You have my next cake tutorial subscriber request. And like I always say, please give me a couple of weeks to come out with this cake tutorial for you. And if you haven't gotten a chance to enter in a cake tutorial request, don't worry, I will be opening it back up very soon. Well, as soon as I get through all of these, because I don't want to leave anybody out. Alright, let's get back to the video. Now I can make the coconut's little kawaii face. For the cheeks, I made 2 pink oval shapes. For the eyes, I made 2 black circles. For the catchlight, I made 2 white circles. For the lashes, I made 2 strips of black fondant on each side and a number 3 shape for the mouth. I was so upset. I could not find one of those little toothpick umbrellas they put in drinks. Well, yeah, I couldn't find it anywhere, and I knew if I found it, I could have put it in the cake and it would have just completed it. Just made it look like one of those pina coladas. But guess what I said? What are we gonna do? You know, whatever. So to make up for that, I decided I could just make a little flower on the side of her head. I used this flower cutter to get the flower shape. And I gave it some texture using this tool. And I glued both of them together and made little bolitas to put in the center of the flower. Now I'm gonna go ahead and poke in a straw on top. And then to the center of it, I'm going to add in some clear piping gel to make it look like the coconut water. I thought I was done with the cake, but then I thought to myself, you know, I could add a little bit something to the cake board, maybe put some blue around the cake board, make it look like the ocean, and then a little bit of brown sugar around the coconut to make it look like the sand. So that's what I did. Although if I could go back in time, I would try to make her like a little hula skirt, but whatever. To cover the cake board with fondant, I rolled out some fondant first and cut out a big enough circle in the center and split that open on one side, rub shortening all over the cake board, and then I placed on the fondant on top of it. And if you're left with a little gap like this, just make sure to use a fondant smoother to smooth it in together. Once I was happy with that, I cut off the excess fondant and then added the brown sugar. But first, I brushed on some piping gel around the coconut and then I placed on the brown sugar around it. Wow, qué linda! If you do recreate this cake, I would love for you to tag me on Facebook or Instagram because I would love to repost it and share it with everyone else. Question: if you had to choose to bake one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? I will be leaving my answer down below in the comment section. If this video was helpful to you in any kind of way, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share it with a friend on your social media. And if you're new here, make sure to hit that circle button right over here to subscribe to my channel. Oh, and don't forget to check out last week's video right over here. Or you can click right over here for some summer inspired cake tutorials. Thank you so much. God bless.